Hey everybody, this is Brian with B&R Homestead and welcome to part 1 of our Raising Chicken series, where we're going to tell you everything you could possibly need to know about raising chickens from the day you bring them home all the way to the day you get your first egg. There will be no details spared and you will be fully confident walking back into your house with that first batch of chicks for your first flock. Which brings us to the topic for part 1, how to choose the breeds for your first beginner flock. Now, the first and most important thing you could do in determining what breeds you need for your flock is establishing your goals. You want a flock that's going to lay as many eggs as possible, where you're not as concerned about egg color or temperament. You just want as many eggs as you can. Do you want a flock that lays a rainbow dozen type of eggs, where you have your blues and your greens and your pinks and your whites and your browns, and you're not really as concerned about the amount of eggs they lay rather than the color of eggs they lay? Do you want birds that are extremely hardy in harsh weather conditions, whether it be extremely hot or extremely cold? There are certain breeds that do well in both. You also might consider temperament. Do you want breeds that are going to be good with your kids, where your 3-year-old can come up and pick them up with no problem? They're less aggressive. There are certain breeds for that as well. And so for us, for beginners, there's really 4 main categories to consider when you're thinking about what breeds to add to your flock. Now, those 4 categories are egg production, egg color, the hardiness of the breed or its ability to thrive in a harsh climate, and the breed temperament. Now, in terms of egg production, your most reliable breeds are going to be Leghorns, Rhode Island Reds, Plymouth Barred Rocks, Orpingtons, and Wyandottes. These breeds are notorious for being extremely reliable egg layers. These breeds will do a great job giving you 300 eggs plus per year and will lay pretty much at any time of the year. Now, a lot of people like to focus on egg color, and so for that, for your blues, you're going to focus on Whiting True Blues, Easter Eggers, and Araucanas. For your greens, you're going to focus on Easter Eggers and Olive Eggers. For a dark chocolatey colored egg, you're going to look at Marans. And for your typical brown egg, you're going to look at Rhode Island Reds, Plymouth Barred Rocks, Buff Orpingtons, Wyandottes, and things like that. And for your white colored eggs, you're going to look at White Leghorns and Blue Andalusians. And if you're looking to add some speckled eggs to your flock, you're going to get some Welsumers or some Barnevelders. Now, I know you might be thinking, Brian, I just want a breed that's going to lay an egg whether it's 100 degrees or 0 degrees. I want a hardy bird. And so for those, you're going to get a Rhode Island Red, an Australorp, a Plymouth Barred Rock, a Cinnamon Queen, or a Leghorn. These breeds are known for being extremely hardy in any climate that you put them in. And last but not least, you're going to look at temperament. You're going to want a bird that's easy to handle and pick up, good with your kids, not very aggressive. And so for that, you're going to look at Easter Eggers, Leghorns, Rhode Island Reds, Plymouth Barred Rocks, and Wyandottes. These breeds are known for being family friendly and just being happy to be around you and easy to accept treats and things like that. So they're really easy to handle and they're fun to have around in your flock. So taking each of those categories into consideration, I'm going to give you the top 5 breeds that B&R Homestead would recommend for beginners. And those 5 breeds are Rhode Island Reds, Plymouth Barred Rocks, Easter Eggers, Orpingtons, and Leghorns. Many of these breeds fit into almost every single one of these categories, and they would all be a fantastic addition to a beginner flock. But for us here at B&R Homestead, our main goals when we started our flock were egg production and egg color, which is why you see a variety of different breeds in our flock. We have nice hardy egg layers like Rhode Island Reds and Plymouth Barred Rocks. And then we have plenty of color added in as well. We have Copper Marans, Easter Eggers, Whiting True Blues, and an Araucana. And so if you were to ask me, my favorite breed personally is an Easter Egger. I love the colors they give. I love their temperament. They still lay. They're pretty hardy. I've been having mine lay all winter for me. They're just an all-around really great breed. So now that I've given you plenty to think about in terms of what breeds you should get, make sure you come back tomorrow for part 2 where we discuss where to get your chickens. There's many different options. There are a lot of people on Facebook groups that sell chicks. You can go to feed stores. You can go to hatcheries online and get them delivered to you. There's many different things to consider, and we're going to go over all of those things tomorrow for part 2 of our Raising Chickens series.